Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Mickey Mouse here, and I'm Piglet here once again, and welcome back to more Let's Play of Super Smash Bros. Melee, and we are from the Maxi Toys, of course. So anyways, last time that we actually did use Link in Classic mode, and so for this episode, we're about to be using the next character in the lineup, which was have to be probably Samus Aran, is the definition of the character choice we're about to be using for today. So yeah, so today was actually the 10th of October, which conveniently enough though, that today, for those of you at the bronies out there, including myself, that My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, at least in North America's release date, is about almost about 6 years old. Which, that was pretty incredible considering how this was actually a huge success compared to the other incarnations of My Little Pony, because even then though, back in the old days during the 90s or roughly 2000s, that it's got a bit rough around the edges. But thankfully though, 2010 though, especially later on, it gets even much better when it comes to fluid animation, and I think the visuals do look remarkably gorgeous, especially for the likes of how the girls shows look, shows look like that. So, should definitely recommend it if you actually become a brony yet. So yeah, right now we have the brony still, so even then though we almost become a brony since 4 years old, 4 years time for that at one point. Oh, we're about to be doing the swordsman right there. Like, we're going to be about to battle against with them on the Great Bay, so yeah. As you can see in the background, that has like a little Majora's Moon, so that as soon as when you're continually going for the battle or what have you, that their moon will actually start to get even closer. So usually that the Great Bay was actually based off of the infamous the Great Bay Temple from Majora's Mask, from Majora's Mask. So even then though, there's only like 4 dungeons in that particular game. But even then though, that we haven't exactly gone into Majora's Mask yet, because we're still in progression on the Ocarina of Time 3D. Well, usually we're trying to start to be carry on doing our playthrough, or in this case in our own time, playing The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, and as well as the Majora's Mask 3D, which we'll get into now in our own time. But first things first though, we need to actually, complete Ocarina of Time in our own time. So yeah, this is how Samus Aran actually plays out in Super Smash Bros. Melee. She behaves exactly like how it does in the original game. That usually she could actually perform a beam shot, which you can actually press just the regular B button. And then if you actually just let the beam shot actually just fully charged, then you can press the B button again until you actually fire the shot. And then, for instance, and you can also use the up B attack, or in this case up B, which means it allows you to actually perform a screw attack. So even then though, that Samus Aran actually has a screw attack already. So even then though, what's really weird is that if you actually are trying to obtain the screw attack item, which you can usually just about to grab it as soon as you hold it. But the more that Samus, you can actually just perform up B attack, and then if she actually has a spare screw attack from the actual item, then I don't know what that is, but I digress. So now we're going to fight against with young Link. For what I've remembered, young Link is actually a reskinned version of Link, because he plays exactly like how he does it for Link. But we'll talk more onto him as soon as we actually get into a different mode known as All-Star mode, because for what I've noticed, for I understand, that we'll try to actually tackle through the classic characters return for the original game through the classic mode, and then as far as the adventure mode we're actually going to be tackling through, we'll just essentially go and try to deal with original newcomer characters. And as for All-Star mode, that is confirmed that we'll do it as from the clone characters. Well, they play, stylely speaking, it plays exactly similar, but in a different moves and all that kinds of stuff, in different tags and attacks as well. So, and you can press it down B attack so that you could actually lay down, or in this case, lay a bomb. In this case, you could drop the bomb as Samus. And then, if you actually just flip back, and then, sorry, I can't speak today. And you know that the side B attack is an introduction to this game, so even then though, the side B attack, for Samus anyway, was actually have ourselves a missile attack. So even then that comes in really handy if you actually try to perform some certain aiming skills right there. Unfortunately though, right now, that this battle is actually dragged on for a little while, so even that though, but because of that though, that I found this kind of odd, considering that how young Link kept running away from us, which I always kind of felt a little bit too baffling at points, especially when you consist on trying to compete against with the computer opponents like these ones. There we go, that's more like it. There we go. So that does it for out of the way, and by the way, there's a new stage here we actually did play, such as the Temple, which Temple will have to be one of my favorite stages in the entire Super Smash Bros. Series, which it did also make a comeback in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and as well as Super Smash Bros. 4 for Nintendo Wii U, so yeah, that's quite exciting. So now we move on to the giant Dr. Mario fight, while actually trying to incorporate how we're actually going to be on to the next new level. Well, essentially, this stage is sort of equivalent to the Super Smash Bros. Version of the Mushroom Kingdom, but this level is actually called Mushroom Kingdom itself. But this probably takes place in the original Super Mario Bros. Style of levels, so that's all you can say about this basically when it comes to this level in general. So what's really weird about Princess Peach, as you can tell about the outline of Princess Peach, is that she actually uses the Princess Daisy costume, which I think this is actually the last time we're going to be seeing Princess Daisy's old costumes, because usually she already wears that during, I'm presuming Mario Tennis from the Nintendo 64, and I believe also Mario Party 3, which fundamentally I think that might be true from my knowledge. But then when it gets to Mario Party 4, that Daisy's costume will change, so just keep that in mind. Alright, now we're going to be fighting against with another member of Star Fox known as Falcor, which fundamentally he behaves exactly like how he does it for Fox, which is probably going to be another clone character we're about to be faced off against. Which I know for the fact that a lot of people seem to complain about the selection of characters do share the exact same movesets and all that. But usually I don't mind clone characters this much. But even then though, that can be likely bothersome from the latest stuff that usually happens. Oh, nice direct hit. Yeah, from that Super Nintendo scope. In this case, Super Nintendo Scope 6, which if I recall correctly, that was usually that's what it calls it. Alright, Team Kirby time in Fountain of Dreams. And if you could tell already that we already been to this level before, where we actually deal with Giant Bowser as from Donkey Kong playthrough in Classic mode. Except rather than just actually dealing with Giant Bowser to begin with, instead we're going to have to just take down all 10 of those Kirbys out of the way. So that will be kind of a unique little department like this, so yeah. So as for everything else for Samus, not much else we can talk about, unless when it gets to Super Smash Bros. Brawl, that she has the ability to actually go into Zero Suit form, which it only happens when you actually try to activate this Final Smash ability, which Final Smash usually heavily introduced into, well, firstly introduced in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Oh, darn it, we lost a knob. Yeah, if you occasionally have one point or another, if you actually grab yourselves a hammer, which is essentially the returning item in Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 64, that occasionally at one point or another, that you know this black knob that you can actually use as a part of the hammer syndrome. Occasionally it'll just try to top it off, or in this case it'll just go off, or in this case just try to get it off, which is kind of annoying though for me. I think it also the same goes for the likes of the other installments as well. But luckily though, if you actually use the black knob of the hammer itself, and if you try to chuck it to anyone else, or mainly the other opponents mostly, then you should probably get yourselves a big massive damage on these opponents. So yeah, definitely recommend it if you somehow manage to let this hammer knob thing just goes off, and then you should be able to actually just to clarify you should be able to get yourselves a bigger massive attacks and what have you. So yeah, that's all there is to it basically. So here we go with Race to the Finish yet again, so hopefully we can actually just make our way to the end. Although, last time that we actually did go all the way to the end, it was actually Donkey Kong, and I think that's about it. Because as for Mario, that we actually been onto the slowest pathway, And I'm assuming in Link that we actually been into the hardest pathway. So unfortunately we don't think we can make it there in time. So unfortunately we'll just have to take this exit by 1 second. How genius am I? So yeah. Alright, so now we face off against with Metal DK, aka Metal Donkey Kong. So it's kind of weird that how Donkey Kong has his metal form. So yeah, it's kind of weird, but hey. So speaking of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, that season 6, I found this kind of odd that how that in Tiny Pop in UK anyway did actually showcase the early episode of the finale of season 6 way too early before when Discovery Family actually gets a finale towards the into likely 22nd of October, which fundamentally that we're pretty much almost done with season 6 for now anyway. Although recently we already watched the finale episode in the season 6 department already, which is really weird. Yeah, because of the I don't know what's this to me or not, but I'm pretty sure that because the MLP, or in this case My Little Pony, the movie will be on its way. Apparently though, that's not the case until we actually wait for that, because thanks to the information that actually pops up for little moments, that yeah, we're actually going to be doing with Master Hand right now, so even then though, unfortunately though, that I don't think we can actually just face off against with yeah, there's no crazy hand shown on this that part of the battle, unfortunately. But instead we just have to face off against with Master Hand, so just with him anyway. I think the only way in order to actually get crazy hands during the battle is the fact you need to be fast in the matches, which that's far as what I'm concerned about. And plus we're in normal difficulty right now, so even then though that unfortunately we didn't get a chance to fight against with crazy hand along with him. So unfortunately we missed out on that due to the fact that I think it's mostly because we actually just spent onto the young Link fight for too long, so I think that's why that happens. And that was about it for Samus Aran in Classic Mode. She behaves exactly how it does in the original game, but the reason we say it's a she is because, well, if you look at the original Metroid game, if you actually get yourselves a good ending, then her name was called more likely Zero Suit Samus, if you will. Assuming if you actually played Brawl, and especially newest entry in the series recently, that she actually puts on the Samus as an armor form. So yeah, how about that? So yeah, as far as this trophy layout with the Samus around anyway, it's actually based off of Super Metroid Samus, I'm assuming. But even then though, that... Actually, we'll talk more onto My Little Pony Friendship is Magic stuff until the next video. And also some bunch of new stuff where we actually get into the next video. So, yeah, we'll just have to save that until at this point in time. So... yeah, there's Samus around shooting those plasma stuff and all that kind of stuff, and shoots the missile right here, which is pretty epic. So yeah, we're just gonna have to say that we're gonna have to end things off here. So next time on Let's Play Super Smash Bros. Melee for the Nintendo GameCube is the fact that we're headed back to Adventure Mode and select one of the next newcomers. So see you guys then. Later, fellas.